How the fuck's it going, everyone? Alright, the weekend is finally here, and we actually have an extended weekend, at least over here in the States, because Monday is Labor Day. I thought it'd be fun to talk about my past self, mostly from middle school, because middle school me and high school me are two completely different people. I swear to you, if you put these two versions of me together, you would think one is the reclusive, shy kid who watches way too much Darman and thinks watching Darman is gonna make him the coolest person in school, whereas the other guy is just the guy who's one soggy french fry from lighting the on-campus gym on fire. So back in middle school, I was a short, chubby hunk of fuck. Well, I'm still short as shit, I'm 5'6", but back then I was like 4'11", and I was 4'11" until like the last 3 months of 8th grade, so it was not a good time for past me, and it definitely didn't help that I was significantly wider than I am now. I mean, I'm skinny as shit. Most people think I'm anorexic. But anyways, this tale starts back in 6th grade, first week of school, and I'm sitting in homeroom, and I've already got my eyes on this one girl who is, she was pretty cute. She was pretty, skinny, all that good shit. And she was sitting on the opposite side of the room, and I was on the other side facing her, so I got a full view. And being the shallow person I was back then, I already banked on liking her solely on appearance, so I was ready to just throw everything at her and give it my all. Metaphorically, of course. So, I'm sitting there staring at her. Luckily, she was too caught up in a conversation with her friends to see this fucking hunk of blubber looking at her like it's about to commit a felony. So I was in the clear there, but I'm sitting there thinking, how am I gonna impress this girl? How can I convince her I'm the coolest person in this goddamn school in 10 seconds, or less? And being the idiot I was back then, I got home and hopped on Reddit and WikiHow to look for advice. Which, just a quick PSA to all middle schoolers, or for anyone out there who's got a girl in their crosshairs they might be interested in, do not, under any circumstances, get your advice from Reddit or WikiHow. That is a recipe for disaster. Fucking septic tank collision levels of catastrophe. You would genuinely get better advice from your local homeless man. Anyways, I saw someone saying on Reddit that you should get her origami flowers. And yeah, I thought, let's do that. I want to do that. I'm gonna go do that when I get home. What could go wrong? I thought it was a safe move. And to be fair, if you pull it off really smooth and suave, maybe on Valentine's Day it could work out, because I think origami flowers, they last longer than normal flowers, and there's more effort put into it than just going to fucking Walmart and getting a bunch of flowers. So I'm sitting in the fucking living room that day with a stack of construction paper and my mom's phone looking up origami flower tutorials, and there was this one that caught my eye. It was this transforming box flower contraption gizmo, and I thought it looked cool as shit. So I'm sitting there making this box, and by the time I was done, I immediately saw the problem. The guy in the video used 15 centimeter paper. It's 15 or 18, I don't remember. And I was using normal printer size paper that I cut into a square, so his was like 15 centimeters, whereas mine was like 9 fucking inches. His was a nice small compact cube, whereas mine looked like the goddamn Allspark from Transformers. It was an absolute unit, just an absolute mass. And obviously I couldn't just shove it into my backpack without getting it hydraulic pressed by all my books. I thought about taking all 6 pieces, putting them in my backpack, and then assembling it at school like a fucking jigsaw puzzle. But then I thought I'd probably forget how to make it after going to sleep, so I just crossed my fingers and hope it didn't rain tomorrow, because I was gonna carry this bitch in my hands into school. I was willing to get just absolutely spit roasted and just bullied for the entire year, just to capitalize on this one moment. Out here looking like I was holding a nuclear football ready to commit a crime. I walk into school and I wait a few minutes for her to arrive. For her to get settled and all that shit. And then I make my move. It's fucking 8:40 a.m. No, not 8:40. Middle school starts earlier than high school, at least where I live. So it was like 7 in the morning. I'm tired as shit. I probably look like I did a pound of cocaine before school started. So, she sits down in her seat, puts her backpack down, and starts conversing with her friends, all the normal shit. And then I make my move. And boy, did it suck. It was bad. So, I stand up, cube in hand, and it wasn't in its final form yet. It was still in its box form. So I say something along the lines of, hey, check out this box I made. It's a nice box, right? It's a cool box. Look at all these colors. I didn't actually say that. It was probably a billion times worse, but I wanted to show her the box. That's what that was for. And obviously she wasn't impressed. She was probably thinking, I can make this in my sleep. What is this? Amateur hour? Get out of my face. So I walk back over to my seat and I'm fucking hyping myself up like football players in the locker room. I'm sitting there like, yeah, I'm about to own this bitch. This is gonna be great. So I do the contortion, the procedure required to turn this box into a flower, and I stand up and walk over there. And I was shitting myself as I'm walking because I was like Doctor Strange, seeing all 14 million possible ways I could get rejected. But there was one outcome that I never saw coming. I swear, I would have been more prepared for her to pull a fleshlight out of her backpack and just start slapping me with it back and forth across the face. So I stand next to her desk, and they almost immediately notice me, because it's not every day you see this fucking 4'11" chubby piece of shit showing you a flower. And I didn't actually say it like I just did just... Fucking hell. I didn't say it like I just did just now. I was trying to play it off really cool and suave, but it came off as, wow, this guy is a douchebag. This is the textbook example of someone you want to stay away from. So there was this other guy who was standing near her. He was like fucking double my height back then, who also happened to be a friend of the girl I was showing off to. And he takes one step towards me and just slaps the box out of my hand, and it breaks in half. I guess the structural integrity of this paper box wasn't as strong as I thought. And it was like time froze as I stood there trying to process what the hell happened. I was like a fucking anime protagonist getting ready to have flashbacks and just start beating ass, except I knew that wasn't going to happen because the guy could have just picked me up and thrown me out of the window. So, I start picking up the surviving pieces and I just threw them in the trash as I'm getting laughed at, and I sit back down defeated and embarrassed. It fucking sucked. Probably the most embarrassing middle school experience I had. There's probably some obscure story where I shit myself in class. There was this one time where my anime drawings got passed around the lunch table back when I did traditional art, and people made fun of me for that, and that experience doesn't even compare to what went down when I showed that girl that flower. So, what's the moral of this story? Don't get your advice from Reddit or WikiHow or 4chan. Don't do it. It's a horrible idea. Well, I mean, I guess you could argue it was a good idea with horrible execution, which, I mean, you wouldn't be wrong, but to be fair, Reddit is the last place you would want to go for advice in general. I don't know, I thought it was a funny story to tell. The guy who slapped the box out of my hand actually became friends with me in 8th grade, and I guess we're still friends, not really, I guess acquaintances. We know each other. So there's some wild plot twist right there. But yeah, that's about it. Take it easy, everyone.